There's an incredible legacy of God at work in the lives of college students and faculty all across northern Idaho. For something like 50 years, God has used the ministry of Cru to see students and faculty come to know Him, be equipped to walk with Him while they're here on campus, but also be equipped to be sent out as ambassadors for Him wherever He might call them afterwards. As a ministry, we exist so that students and faculty may know God personally, be built up in their faith, and then be sent out to go wherever He might call them to make a kingdom impact. My name is Taylor Meyer, and my wife Shay and I lead the ministry here in northern Idaho. It is our prayer in this time that as COVID-19 has impacted all of us in some capacity, that you would be finding hope and peace in the midst of this season. A few months ago, our staff team gathered to dream about what it could look like to have those who have gone before and who have invested in our ministry here to come back to Moscow for one night to hear stories about what God is doing today and to celebrate those with us. Unfortunately, with the COVID-19 virus spreading much faster than we realized, we had to shift and pivot to this online format. But we want to invite you to listen to some stories about some of our friends who have experienced God while they're here on campus. You can also check out the rest of this website that has some ideas of what we're trusting the Lord for in this next year, as well as a video from a professor who has had his life transformed by the gospel recently. So listen to these stories of some of my friends and be encouraged by what the Lord is doing here in northern Idaho.
My name's Emily Baldwin. I'm a junior at the University of Idaho, and I'm from Spokane, Washington originally. I've been in Cru since I was a freshman, and I'm a junior now, so in the last 3 years, I've seen Cru do huge things in my life and on our campus. Coming into college, I would say I was pretty much on a spiritual high coming out of youth group in high school. I was really involved with ministry and my church in high school. And so coming into college, I really wanted to find that same thing. And I was really skeptical that that existed in college. I had gone to private school my whole life. And so going to public school was really scary for me. And I wasn't sure if it was going to be possible to find a community like I had in high school.
So my name's William Moore. I'm a sophomore at the U of I. I'm a civil engineering major. And I'm originally from Denver. Coming to college, I was spiritually, I was excited, probably. Because I knew, it was either do or die time. And so since I didn't have to go to church anymore with my parents, I could, pick my own church. I could do things how I wanted to do it, at my own pace kind of thing. And so I was ready to come experience what God had for me.
My name is Kate Disselkoon. I am from Pocatello, Idaho. I am a computer science student in my second year at the University of Idaho. I was in a weird spot spiritually coming into college. I was still considered myself Christian, but I was very just wanting to get out where I was at. And so coming into college, I was just wanting to start a new slate kind of thing, but I didn't really know where that slate was gonna take me, so I was kind of just coming in willy-nilly, I guess I'll do whatever comes in my path or whatever, which was obviously not very healthy in any sense of the word.
My faith was a little bit rocky when I first came into college. I definitely was kind of excited to kind of explore spirituality on my own because it had always kind of been my parents. Just kind of I went to a Christian school and everything, so I kind of just did it because I had to, I think. So I was definitely excited to be able to kind of figure out what I believed on my own, and I definitely wanted to be a part of a Christian community, and I think that I tried to involve myself in that, but yeah, my closest friends weren't really believers, so I kind of fell into that just more worldly lifestyle, I guess. I don't know, just a lot of pressure on myself to do the right thing all the time, and then hanging out with my non-believing friends and just kind of falling into that worldly lifestyle just over and over again.
I don't think I was very focused on others. I wasn't ministry based. I just loved the community that it brought to me and what it gave me. I loved the friendships that I got out of it, but I wasn't really missionally minded. I didn't care about the impacts that a ministry could have on other people. I didn't really understand why evangelizing or sharing with other people was important. It was very much just a selfish thing. And so I think my freshman year, it changed a lot and it became more of a communal thing where I wanted to be more missional, share the gospel, be in relationship with other people, communicate my faith, and not just be selfish about it and see what I could get out of it, but what I could give to others through the community.
The community and Cru as a whole was always super welcoming. The first follow-up that I went to, I was, introduced to a leader here, and then it just got they were just opened up to me. I was like, this is what I see on campus, and I thought it was really cool because it had there was a vision, but it was also very real, and so part of it was the leadership that was exciting to see, just in leading the campus to a place where it's the word of God is being spread, and so that just really excited me, just their vision. Overall,
Cru provided an opportunity and a space for me to grow through different weekend events or longer events, but then also engaging weekly through the weekly meetings with the life groups, and then also just having a group of believers to hang out with who are Christ focused and want you to grow in addition to wanting themselves to grow.
I think God definitely used Cru in a lot of ways just over this last year, especially after going to Tahoe over the summer with Cru. I think my faith kind of became my own just because of it, because I was really inspired by other Christian believers who were just so excited to be able to be a part of something. I had never really seen that before. And yeah, I think going to Tahoe was just the first time I had been consistent in my faith, just being around so many other believers, and I don't know, everyone was just so excited to be there and so excited to learn and kind of see how God was going to use them. So yeah, I think my faith has definitely become a lot more of a constant in my life and more consistent because of Cru. I don't think that I would have grown as much as I did without it.
Cru, we've definitely been active with the weekly meetings on Tuesdays, but then also kind of fun campus events we do every year, or past couple years that I've been here at least. So the Thank a Prof that our faculty commons do, that's pretty sweet. Be able to write notes to your professors that you like, I think it's sweet. And then last year we did text for a cookie, and so you could just text them spiritual questions, and then you get a free cookie out of it. And so it's a good way to reach out to the campus, which I think was pretty sweet.
I would say the biggest thing about Cru that was different than anything I'd ever experienced before was the one-on-one discipleship. In high school, I was never discipled by someone one-on-one, and so meeting with Shay throughout my college career and my freshman year was super big in my life. It changed the way that I saw ministry, and so I think that's something that Cru does that I haven't really seen modeled in a lot of other ministries, and that's why I love it so much, because I think I just get to build such a close relationship with her, and I learned a lot from her, and I think she's helped me grow a lot.
Being able to meet on a weekly basis and kind of touch base and say hey, what's going on spiritually and in life and just with everything, while also befriending these people who discipled me, so it was just a great experience there for sure.
This is the first year that I've been able to disciple girls, and so I'm meeting with 2 freshman girls, and I've gotten to walk through really hard stuff in their life. One of my disciples had a lot of loss this last semester. She lost her grandpa and one of her really close friends, and it was just a really hard season for her. So I think just being able to walk through that with her and help her process and just understand the good that comes out of that and God's plan in that was really special, and I think it helped me grow and see that in my own life as well. But I think it was just really, really cool, and I just felt really honored that God had given me that experience to step into that with her and just walk through that with her and help her through that.
Wherever I do go, I know now because of Cru how to live a life where I can be constantly in the Word every day, and where I can be in community, and where I can be missional. Maybe it's not sharing, going out to the cafeterias and sharing, but just be always aware and always looking for opportunities where I can be like, this is, you know, who God is to the world or whatever. So I think that's something that Cru has really taught.
I think I didn't really understand before Cru that lifelong ministry isn't really like a choice for Christians. I kind of thought of it as like some people choose to be missionaries and they like go to another country and like spend their life doing that. But I've definitely learned so much about just being like a missional Christian every single day and just like learning how to talk to non-believers about my faith like in normal casual conversations. Like it doesn't have to be a super weird thing.
I think my mindset around the term ministry has changed a lot since I've been in college, just because I've felt like I'm not as selfish about ministry. It's more about other people and walking with them in pursuit of God and running with them towards Christ. And I think before I just saw it as a very personal thing that I didn't want to share with a lot of people. It was hard for me to talk with people about, but since coming to college, I've just seen ministry in such a different light of loving others and creating community with them and helping them. I think it's just become such a external way of living instead of just an internal idea.
My name is David. I'm 21. A junior in college. Well, I was raised like a Christian from an early age. I went to the church, I went to Bible studies, but I don't think it like fully like I really was like devoted through high school. Really I just got distracted by like everything that was going on. Like I was playing hockey, cross country, and like I wasn't focused on like God at all. During this time in high school, I met Graham and I started going to some Bible studies with him, which was good. But I still wasn't like super devoted about it.
I've known David for a really long time. Let's see, I think I met him freshman year of high school. We ran cross country together.
I went through like a really hard year during like 2019. The spring of my sophomore year was really tough for me to get through. That summer I was hanging out with friends still, drinking a lot, going to parties. The week after my birthday, I was at a friend's house for a birthday party. And there was one of our friends there that was like, he was going through a really hard time. He had just broken up with his girlfriend and he had been on like going through like depression and stuff for a long time. I didn't know anything about this before, and I don't think a lot of people did at the party. We were just all having a good time. So that night he got really drunk, and basically what happened is he took his life. And I was like the last person to ever see him. And that just like, it just like shook me. And so that was a really hard like couple weeks and months after that. Like after that happened, I stopped drinking for a while and just like really just like thought about life more. I first started going to meetings with Jess, and he's one of the leaders at Cru. And so that was a really good first step I took from like not going to church at all, just to having those conversations. And then a little bit later than that, during like Christmas break, that's when I really started like reaching out to Graham.
One day he just comes to me and he's like, hey, you want to like get lunch sometime? I was like, okay, sure. And I felt like, I was like, well, this is kind of weird. Like, it seems like he wants to like talk about something. And so anyways, we went and got Chick-fil-A. And he just tells me, he's like, hey, like, I decided that like, I want to turn my life around. I'm just sitting there like, you know, wow, this is like awesome. Like, this is totally not what I was expecting. And he told me, he's like, you know, I think I want to like get serious about my faith, you know. And it's so sweet to hear that.
I was able to talk to him about like everything I had gone through, and just able to like, he was able to give me a lot of good information.
Since then, like, it was just like, it was a super drastic change. Like, it almost seemed like overnight, you know, but like, I think he changed like as a person for sure. Fast
forward to this semester, I started going to Cru. I started going to like different, like I went to churches. I was going to church on Sunday. Like, everything's been changed, but it really just started with me wanting to like go out there and like follow God, and just being able to do that.
And it's super cool to just see him continue to grow and be able to be alongside him for that. And one of the things I think about like with this story is that, you know, it's so clear to me that God is the one who was like completely like in control through all this. Like, we always say that, but like especially here, you know, it feels like it's true, because like I said, like I feel like I had almost given up on him, you know. I literally did none of this. It's all God. And it's so cool to be able to see him like work like that.
These stories are just a glimpse of what God has been doing here in Northern Idaho. Our staff team is so thankful that the Lord has chosen to use Cru to spread the gospel across these campuses, and we look forward to seeing what He's going to do in the years to come. Our hope and our vision is to see that every faculty and student has the opportunity to hear and respond to the gospel, that every follower of Jesus would multiply their faith, and that every graduate would go into the world as an ambassador for the King. In this next year, we are trusting the Lord for 3 things to take steps towards this vision. The first is that we want to give every freshman the opportunity to hear and respond to the gospel. The second is that we want to see students raised up to multiply their faith into the lives of others. And lastly, we want to see 10% of our movement be sent out to go launch new movements across the nation as well as across the world through our spring break and summer mission trips. There are a few significant ways that we are trusting the Lord to reach these goals. The first is we want to give every freshman the opportunity to hear and respond to the gospel through fall launch activities and tabling events. The first 6 weeks of a freshman's college career are the time where they are most spiritually open to the gospel, and we believe that if we can proclaim the gospel in that time, hundreds will come to know Him. The second is we want to subsidize our fall retreat so that it is more affordable to all students so that more can come and experience gospel-centered community. Third, we want to believe the Lord to raise up scholarship money so that we can send students to a winter conference or a spring break mission trip so that they can put feet to their faith. And lastly, we want to invest in a spring outreach so that students can hear the gospel throughout the entire year. We believe by investing in these things, the gospel will go forth and that students and faculty will come to know Him. These things are not possible, though, without the financial support of concerned individuals like you. Would you prayerfully consider giving a gift of $250, $500, or $1,000, or an amount significant to you so that we might be able to see this ministry continue into these next few years and into the future? Thank you so much for considering this. We are so honored and thankful that there are those who have gone before who are willing to invest in this ministry. I pray that in this time that the Lord blesses you and that you and your family are experiencing His grace and His peace and experiencing great health. We hope to see you next year at our Vision Dinner here in Moscow, where I will be able to meet you in person. God bless you.